What's up, guys? Welcome to At Home Fitness with Coach A. I am Coach A, and this is the YouTube channel that aims to bring you guys in-gym quality coaching and workouts for your at-home or garage gym needs. It is the first of 2021, day number 292 of our At Home Fitness programming series. And since I'm assuming most of you are having a hard time getting in the gym today with minimal hours, it is New Year's Day, we're going to give you something that's a little bit at home only today, or at home convenient, whatever you want to look at it as. No equipment, just you, just some movement. So here's what we have. We're going to go 20 to 1. That's a lot of reps. So I want you to take your time, especially on those first few rounds. Don't get destroyed on the first 5 rounds of the workout, so you guys can keep chugging through as you go. 20 to 1, 4-time push-ups, sit-ups, and air squats. Now, I'll demonstrate this in a second. One of the things I want you guys to pay attention to, air squats, other than maybe the hips being pretty sore from yesterday, hamstrings being a little fatigued, in which case you probably need to work through this a little bit. Maybe we want to alternate like the even rounds as lunges, the odd rounds as air squats. That'll probably help you keep it mixed up enough that it'll help flush out a lot of that lactic acid that's built up from yesterday without going a little overly aggressive on the hip extension today. Push-up wise, it's a lot of push-ups for most people. Don't be afraid to drop down to the knees, do the knee push-ups for this workout. You're still gonna get the upper body work without having to have all the additional stress of having to stabilize and hold that core position that you're also gonna fatiguing from in the abdomen from the sit-ups. Plus, you're gonna be lighter than you normally otherwise would be if you're doing those push-ups from your feet. So don't be afraid to toss them in the knees. Some of the other modifications, we're gonna go from here, so I don't have to shut them to you guys at the end. For the push-ups, you guys can always grab dumbbells. If you have them, do some floor press, grab a band, loop it around your back, do some floor press laying on the ground, something along those lines. Talked about how to mix up the air squats a little bit. If your knees are bugging you from whatever reason, maybe hamstrings are super smoked and you just have a hard time getting through that full extension of the knee or the full depth of the squat, feel free to grab a bench, grab a chair, grab a couch, squat to it, come up off it, maybe treat it like a box squat. Something similar to if you guys were doing a bunch of back squats and you were trying to avoid full flexion range of motion, full depth range of motion, you might sit down onto a box with your back squat and come up from there. For the ab mat sit-ups, might be a ton of ab mat sit-ups for some people. You guys tuck crunches, specifically that hollow to crunch position that we do every once in a while. Yes, that is challenging. Yes, we might not normally think of that as a modification or a scale to an ab mat sit-up, but it is a shorter range of motion, and it is something that you can usually do a little bit quicker per rep. So that might end up being a scale for today's work. Lastly, reps, you guys can always mix it up a little bit. If you think you can go after the 20, but you're not really sure, meaning the 20 to 1, all those rounds, maybe start with 20, drop it down to 18 and go down to 2. If you guys feel like you want to keep going from there, you can always go back and start with 19 and go down to 1 with the odd rounds. Or even go 1, 3, 5, and up to 19 if you want to do that, right? So a bunch of different options for this. That's part of the point, is for it to be universally scalable and adjustable for you guys to mix it up and be able to get after something post-celebration on New Year's Eve that you can still get in a workout and feel pretty good tomorrow without beating the crap out of yourself today. So stick around and we'll go through some of those demos. All right, guys, so getting into our 20 reps to 1, keeping in mind when we have it set up like this, it's going to be 20 push-ups, then 20 sit-ups, then 20 air squats, 19, 19, 19, 18, 18, 18, and so on. So if we need to drop down to the knees for these push-ups, feel free. Don't underestimate how much fatigue that's going to take, but I want to see those hips in an extension position with your knees and your shoulders, not push back like this. All right, that is a completely different animal to what we're trying to maintain for good postural position. Now, for those sit-ups, you guys can always go with the butterfly setup, which is pushing the feet together, knees out to the side. This takes the hip flexors out of it. Or we can put those feet down to the ground, bend the knees, and have them pointing towards the ceiling, which bring the hip flexors back into the equation a little bit, but that's going to be fine. Tuck crunch. If you're looking for a reminder, we talked about possibly using this as a scale. That is a slower version of it. Obviously, you guys can crank through it a little bit quicker. And then we have our air squats. Or as I said, if you want to modify and throw some lunge steps in there, you can. Just do those maybe on the even round, do the air squats on the odd round. Or if you want to spice it up a little bit more, we could go with some jumping air squats or some lunge hops.